ready for University of Georgia basketball.
Alright guys, so the first of 3 videos being recorded today. Let's jump right into it. Georgia with a very, very impressive victory over Florida State in the Tuesday night in the men and women's. Well, it was the men's SEC challenge, but they did beat Florida State in the women's challenge too yesterday. I don't know what the score of that game was, but Georgia wins it 107-73, and you know what? Georgia just straight up whooped Florida State. I have never seen Georgia in any circumstance go on the road to a Power 4 team and play like they played Tuesday night. And what's great about it too is it was wire to wire. I mean, Georgia never struggled one bit. Sure, they might have took a few bad shots then and there, and you know, blah blah blah. But I mean, Georgia never struggled, and it was a great win. Oh, I'm reading this now from Pete Thamel. And it says, Vanderbilt explored the possibility of playing a 13th game this week to give one final showcase from the college football playoff. There was interest from the team, university officials, and the athletic department and coaching staff, but ultimately the operational and legislative requirements along the last-minute scheduling could not support. That would have been cool. That would have been cool. But anyway, we're not a Vanderbilt channel. We're a Georgia channel. And Georgia just played terrific. Georgia's leaders, Jeremiah Wilkerson, with a quiet 22 points. And one of my friends said it best, it's always great when Jeremiah Wilkerson is going to give you a quiet night. A quiet 22 points. You don't expect it all the time, and it's just brilliant. Wilkerson has just played great. I love watching him. Blue Kane with 17, Cannon Catchings with 17, Santos Surreal with 9, Jordan Ross with 4, Smurf Melinder with 10, Jake Wilkins with 7, Dylan James with 6, Akeem Stagg with 6, Justin Abson with 4, Justin Bailey with 3, Jaden Newell got his first bucket of the season at the free throw lines. He hit 2 points, and Brandon Klasky did play but had 0 points. That in totals 107%. Let me tell you something, guys. This team's just so brilliant to watch, and if you enjoy football or if you enjoy basketball, you need to watch this Georgia team. Florida State, don't get me wrong, Florida State has been very odd this year. And what I mean by that is they only lost to Florida by 2. They got completely drugged by Texas A&M. So, hey, if anybody deserves as much credit for Georgia's win Tuesday, A&M deserves it because they softened Florida State up for us, which I absolutely appreciate. I kind of waited for this game to be over. I wanted to record it yesterday, but because the challenge was still going on, I did not record it. The challenge is now over. The SEC wins it 9-7. The rest of the scores Tuesday night, which is the night Georgia played, had Syracuse beat Tennessee 62-60. Virginia Tech beat South Carolina 86-83 in overtime. Wake Forest beating Oklahoma beating Wake Forest 86-68. Texas A&M beating Pittsburgh 81-73. Duke beating Florida 67-66. Miami beat Ole Miss 75-66. Notre Dame beating Missouri 76-71. North Carolina beating Kentucky 67-64. And last night's Wednesday night's games were Arkansas beat Louisville 89-80, Alabama beat Clemson 90-84, LSU beat Boston College 78-69 in overtime. Mark Byington and Vanderbilt beat SMU 88-69. Virginia beat Texas 88-69. Mississippi State beat Georgia Tech 85-73. And Auburn beat North Carolina State 83-73. So a very successful night. A very successful night in the SEC. The SEC won the challenge 9-7. And if you guys remember last year, they won it like 14-2 or 12-2 or something. Something along those lines. And you know, it wasn't pure domination by the SEC like it was last year, but pretty close. And you know, the biggest upset to me was Syracuse over Tennessee. I remember saying in that game that I thought there was no possible way Syracuse would even be close to Tennessee. And as much as people want to blame Danny White and Tennessee's athletic director, you know, Rick Barnes is there too. So you got to give him some to blame too. Clemson played close with Bama for a little while, and eventually Alabama just started to pull away. I was able to watch the end of Virginia Tech, South Carolina, because that was our ACC network was airing the Wake Forest Oklahoma game, and that game wouldn't come on, and Georgia wouldn't come on until that game was over. So I watched South Carolina, Virginia Tech. That game had a very bizarre ending. Number one, Virginia Tech took a 3-pointer when they only wasted 5 or 6 seconds of the shot clock. They pull up for 3. They miss it. South Carolina then gets it with about 20 seconds left. And then South Carolina doesn't even get a shot off. They just dribble out the clock. And then Virginia Tech turned it on in overtime and then pretty much stole a victory from South Carolina. Which I would like to see. Did the Hawks win last night? Speaking of basketball, the Hawks lost last night 115-92. They're now 13-10. But all right, guys. Georgia wins it 107-73. That's all that matters at the end. These other scores don't matter to me. They're interesting for sure, but they don't matter to me. What does matter to me is that Georgia won. And that's great, and that's all that matters. Georgia wins it over Florida State. Go Dogs.
Thoughts do the improbable, the unthinkable, the unbelievable. They beat Arkansas and go wire to wire to win the SEC tournament.